parent in waiting, so is the queen of pop. Whitney Houston has just confirmed all those rumors. Turns out they're true. She is once again a maternal girl. Hey, everybody in showbiz is having babies. Whitney's spokesperson tells Day and Date that Houston and hubby Bobby Brown are expecting their second child sometime in July. They already have a 3-year-old daughter. Except for plugging her upcoming movie, The Preacher's Wife, with Denzel Washington, Whitney, who has miscarried before, plans on taking it easy.
Well, Whitney Houston and her husband Bobby Brown are expecting their second child early next summer. A spokesperson for Whitney tells ET she is excited and thrilled about having another baby. She plans to travel to Japan for a concert in December as scheduled. Whitney and Bobby already have a 3-year-old daughter, Bobby Christina.
If it's another baby, Whitney Houston and her husband Bobby Brown want, they're 6 weeks on their way to getting just that. The pop parents already have a 3-year-old daughter named Bobby Christina. Now, Houston's publicist confirms the 5-time Grammy winner is anxiously anticipating a new arrival due for delivery next
Whitney
July.
Houston and the Queen of Talk, Oprah Winfrey, headlined a superstar salute over the weekend. The gala honored the 50th anniversary of a landmark American magazine.
This is going to be some party tonight.
Oprah kicked off the gala tribute to Ebony magazine, and the joint really started jumping when Whitney Houston premiered her new songs from her movie, The Preacher's Wife. The groundbreaking African-American magazine, founded by John H. Johnson, chose Whitney to jumpstart the star-studded evening.
Ebony always knows kind of where I keep them in touch of what I'm doing and how everything is going, because they are my family. And he asked me to open the show with gospel. And it was just, the timing was perfect. And I thought, beautiful, you know, I'll do it, you know. Pregnant and all, I'll be here.
1937, as a child.
Bill Cosby paid tribute to Ebony's coverage of the civil rights movement, and Will Smith and Luther Vandross were among those celebrating the magazine's legacy.
That's the magazine we grew up seeing on our dentist table.
They have made a landmark as far as reporting what goes on in the African-American life for all these 50 years.
The 2-hour TV special, Celebrate the Dream, 50 Years of Ebony magazine, will air Thanksgiving night on ABC. And tomorrow here on ET, I will share my own talk with Whitney Houston. She told me she is simply thrilled with her new life, with the new baby on the way, a new movie, and a new CD. The first song from Whitney Houston's new movie, The Preacher's Wife, is called I Believe in You and Me. And when I met up with Whitney and her husband Bobby Brown, one of the first things I found out was that they believe in each other. America's favorite family, the Nelsons.
Here we are.
How are you, love?
Fine. How are you, dear?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
Bobby, how are you, man? Nice to see you. Well, let's start with the best news, because this is very cool. You're pregnant?
Whitney's having a baby, Whitney's having a baby, Bobby and Whitney having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how much you love kids, and
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
must be beside yourself.
I am, you know. It was very funny because I thought, God, you know, and something's wrong, you know, something's right or wrong. I don't know what's happening here. I was recording and my voice just wouldn't rise, you know. It's like the estrogen had taken over at the progesterone level. So I went to the doctor and that old EPT said, woo.
It's blue.
It's blue. It's a plus.
That's great.
I believe in
Whitney's voice has never sounded more full of life than it does in the first single, I Believe in You and Me, from her new movie, The Preacher's Wife. The film's soundtrack combines what are sure to be pop hits and inspirational gospel music.
I did The Preacher's Wife, and I didn't quite know what to expect, you know, because I didn't know, like, all right, what am I going to do? What songs am I going to do? But somehow the songs just fell into my hands. Here I had 10 songs of great gospel, you know, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go in there. And, man, I went in that studio. I was hoarse half the time because I was on the set for the most part in, like, 26 below zero weather. And then these, you know, and all that madness. Your voice has, you know, it affects it. So I stayed really, like, raspy. So, but it came out great because gospel is a very hard-edged kind of music. You know, you got to sing gospel. You can't be singing. You have to sing.
It's as A-A-A-N-G.
There you go. There you go, you know. It took me right back home.
Hold on. He's on his way.
Did you kind of try to mainstream the gospel edges of it a little bit so that it would be a little more commercial?
I wanted it to be universal, you know. I didn't want it to be so hard that people couldn't get it, you know.
Right.
I didn't want to slap him upside the head with Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to beat him down with God, you know. I just wanted to sing how I felt.
I believe in you and me.
With what is sure to be another best-selling album, a hit movie, and a baby on the way, Whitney still plans on stopping and smelling the roses. Are you going to cut back on your schedule now because of this?
Absolutely.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to eat now.
But you're not showing anything.
No, but you know, the first 3 is like really a trip because your body's taking on a new transition.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know anything about this. You should ask your wife. Really.
She really didn't talk to me through most of the pregnancy. You know,
well, then you know, because I'm not really talking to Bobby too good.
Is that right? Well, Bobby, I can sympathize, pal, believe me.
He said to me the other day, you hate me.
Is it something I said?
I said, no, I don't. I'm just going through changes, you know. It's like your body's getting ready to take on a life. So this is like...
Or take a life. One
or the other.
You're going to take me out. Whitney's new song called I Believe in You and Me hits the radio today, and the Preacher's Wife soundtrack will be in stores 1 week from today.
Washington that will lift you up. Whitney Houston pours her passion into the gospel songs from The Preacher's Wife. The movie's soundtrack mixes pop and the traditional religious songs, and the superstar believes that audiences will embrace the uplifting movie and the music.
The music supports the movie, so hopefully they'll combine the two and they'll get it and they'll enjoy having seen what they saw and come back home and play it and remember the good feelings that they felt during the film.
In the movie, Whitney's marriage to preacher Courtney B. Vance hits a rough spot, and Dudley the Angel, played by Washington, steps in. But there was no song for a key scene between Whitney and Denzel.
It's for Denzel and my skating scene. He takes me to the park, my son and I, and we go skating. So this particular song, and I tell you something, I had to find this song because we didn't have a song until like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Enter Babyface. The producer-songwriter turned out hits for Whitney on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, and she asked him to do it again.
We gotta get a skating song. We gotta get a skating song. So I'm counting on you. Come on.
Who would have thought of it, that I might feel like this?
The result of her pleading with him is this song, My Heart is Calling.
We talked over the scene. Right. You know, and again, Faze and I, like, we like osmosis, we transmit to each other, okay, the scene is, and you know, and he goes back home and he writes these songs, and My Heart is Calling came out to be that.
Nice skating song. In anticipation of huge sales, the record company has shipped 4 million copies of The Preacher's Wife soundtrack to stores. They're due to go on sale today. And then the movie The Preacher's Wife opens on December 3rd.
Congratulations to the happy couple.
Yes, thank you.
We've all heard the news.
Yeah.
When's the baby coming?
Should be here. He'll be here.
He'll be here.
Is it a boy? Do you know it's a boy for sure?
We don't know it's a boy for sure, but we hope
Whenever
it's a
God
boy.
gets his space.
Oh, I know. That's great, you guys. That was Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Whitney looked good, didn't she? We know there are lots of celebrities here, so we've been talking to them to find out some of their favorite things.
July 18th, when I got married to Bobby. For the moment he asked me to marry him, too. He was like, hey, do you want to marry me or not? You know, that was one of the moments. He gave me a little...
How could you say no?
He gave me a little tiny ring, right? A little tiny one, right? And I was like going, oh, how nice that is. What a nice little ring. Sweet. Then he pulls out this rock, man, and I'm like, oh, that's even better.
Your favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes, Kellogg's.
I do
Frosted
too.
Flakes with bananas.
Fruity Pebbles right now.
Fruity Pebbles, yeah. Definitely
Fruity Pebbles.
Peanut butter flavored Captain Crunch. That is the best. That's the best thing since grits.
Your favorite thing to sleep in?
Silk, like slip.
I don't sleep in anything.
Nothing.
I like that picture. Your favorite thing to do?
I like to go shopping.
My favorite gift to give and get.
He doesn't like gifts.
All of your heart, baby.
He doesn't like gifts.
No, I like gifts. My
He
favorite
only
gift.
likes to give. He doesn't like to get.
Love.
That's love for me, I can say.
To give,
To
yeah.
give and get.
One of my favorite things.
The
Preacher's Wife, rated PG. Starts Friday, December